So a very interesting thing happened, which has kind of just made such perfect sense to me today. At the start of the week, I told myself that I'm not a smoker. Anytime I felt like having a cigarette, I just reminded myself I don't smoke. And I've been wanting to quit smoking for a long time. Smoking wasn't my thing. It was, it was something that I did when Taz and I were together, and it became a means to suppress massive amounts of grief in my lungs. Things would be horrible, and I would go, and I've been trying to give up smoking, and it's always been unsuccessful. I fight the cravings. Nicotine addiction's really fucking hard. But I just did something different. It's like I reset myself back. It's like, you don't smoke. I'm not a smoker. Why would I have a cigarette? I'm not a smoker. And in that process, it's like, particularly at this day, perhaps when, a lot of that nicotine is falling out of my body and coming out of my lungs, and it's like it was wrapping up all of this fucking gunky, emotional, abusive, disgusting fucking shit fuck. And it's all falling out. Like, I can feel it. I can see it as it's coming out. It's like all of these memories that were wound down so tight and jammed down there with the smoking, and it's just been so incredibly fucking powerful. Like, I've always known that these things were in there, but it's kind of like now, oh my God. Oh, for lack of a better word, it's just really easy. It's like it's just all falling away. It's like it's just all falling away. And I didn't even have to process it. It's like I'm just looking at it and I'm like, oh yeah, don't need you. That's okay, you can go now. Not necessary. And making the decision not to not be a smoker was such an act of self-love, because that is the ultimate form of self-sabotage. It's a slow death. I was slowly poisoning myself to death, and it's kind of like, wow, you must have really fucking loved you. And I do it with booze, I do it with wine. I just drink excessive amounts of alcohol, um, and I wipe myself out, and I wake up with hideous hangovers and a painful liver, and I feel like I've actually destroyed brain cells, and not kind of as sharp and quick as I was. And just thinking about that, because I was kind of kicking myself last night, because I went, oh, I've got no wine. How am I going to go and get wine? And then I thought, oh, maybe I could go without wine, even though I'm going without cigarettes. Fuck, could I go without wine? It was just so easy. It was so easy. And because I've realized that in doing these things, these destructive things to myself, there's no self-love there. It is, I'm sabotaging myself. Um, my eating habits were really bad. Um, when Taz and I got together, I've put on so much weight. And I stopped exercising. I used to run every day. I used to eat really healthy. Um, I used to really take a lot of care in my body. Um, all of that stopped. Smoking started. The drinking's been there probably for a few years. And the destructive thoughts about self, um, and it's all gone. It's actually all gone. I can feel it shifting away. It's like the reclaiming of that person just got this momentum. Just, it's fueled everything else, and everything else. It's not even a difficult decision. It's like, well, of course I'm not going to, continue to fucking eat poison. Of course I'm not going to continue to kill myself slowly, quickly, however it is, because I really care about myself. And in sitting with this, I was thinking about, it feels like the big chunks of, it's like somebody's got in there with a high pressure wash and gone, get all out. And so big debris is kind of all falling out, and which is really quite spectacular. And I am having these moments, which for the first time in my life, I'm kind of like, is this what it would have felt like being me if none of that real fucky shit happened? Is this how I would have experienced life if those childhood traumas hadn't have happened? And then, that kind of set in motion thought and behavioral patterns. And, then I allowed, you know, abusive relationships to happen. I allowed people to treat me really, really badly and, to nearly kill me. And that was how much I valued my life. But, I was shoving fucking poison in it every day. So it's pretty clear there was no value of self. And there is now. And it's big. And it's fucking really, really, really huge. And I just so trust myself to make good choices. Good choices for what is the best thing for me. And it feels like, yeah, it feels like this is the Jodie. If maybe all of that horrible, awful stuff hadn't have happened, this is my highest self that I can be. And there's just such a sense of peace and and just love and this calming presence. I'm in Perth at the moment, and it doesn't really suit me. It was great to come over here and to heal, but it's I miss Melbourne, and I really want to go home to Melbourne, and I'm going to. And what it feels for me, and a lot of this stuff, like the synchronicity of everything that's just been coming up and happening, it feels like the exiled mother is returning, and she is returning in all her fucking glory. And she is no longer afraid. She no longer doubts herself. She trusts who she is. She knows who she is. She has complete 100% commitment and devotion to her core essence. And nobody can define her. spent many years being defined by so many people, and when you strip it all back, there's something quite magical about truly knowing who you are and fully embracing who you are. And for the first time in my life, I actually really feel that. I really, really feel that. And it's just, it's like I just want to give myself every wonderful, beautiful thing that I can, and not choose to bring in things that are really not good, things that will destroy me, things that are destructive to me. Um, it's called self-love. It's a bit of a new concept. I've worked on it for a while, and it's really hard to get your head intellectually around the theory and the process of self-love. It's definitely an experiencing thing. And when you've spent, 40 years of your life being a self-hater to the point that, you've just done terrible things to yourself. You've tried to kill yourself. You just haven't wanted to exist. You just hate yourself so much. Um, to be able to fully stand in that space and say, I love myself. I love who I am. I love who I am so much. It's so precious that I'm not going to put poisons into my body. I'm not going to put poison into my heart and my soul. Only all of the good, yummy, deserving things. Because I am deserving of all of the best, most delicious, wonderful life possible. And I'm going to give that to myself.